good evening. My name is Sriramlu Apna. Today we have very promising startups. There are 7 startups who have been selected to present here. May I invite Shravanti Upadrashta and Ganeshwar Rao from Janjet Technologies.
Hi all, good evening. So I am Shravanti Upadrashta, coming from Janjet Technologies, founder and CEO of Janjet Technologies, a generative AI company trying to solve a problem of enterprise knowledge base and enterprise knowledge search within an enterprise. So you all come from product managers, right? Building products again. But how frequently do you go to your development team or go to your knowledge base searching for information which was built over decades of your operations, right? Your company operations. So we make that search easier for product managers, for developers, for customer support, for marketers through LLMs again. The mission is to revolutionize the enterprise software category for their own internal knowledge base and improve productivity and efficiency gains for enterprise software companies. The problem again, as I said, it is inefficient and ineffective enterprise knowledge spread over multiple sources of information. It could be Jira, it could be documents, it could be Confluence, SharePoint, videos, training videos, etc. So, and typically the degrees of difficulty, the wait time or the turnaround time, the delays, wasting time, just the wait time between multiple teams asking for information. So we try to minimize all of that by feeding all your data, internal knowledge base into the LLMs and making your search easier. Search for information. So whatever demos you have seen from ServiceNow, right, on the LLMs. So we enable all of that for your own knowledge base, for your own enterprise, internal use, hosted on-prem. And our commitment, again, it's through strategic partnerships is what we are growing. And we invest in research and development heavily. The part of our team is IIT researchers. I'm myself pursuing PhD here at IIT Hyderabad. And the team is pretty strong in enterprise software development and also the Gen AI LLM space. And this is the market size that we are talking about, just the enterprise knowledge search market. It's 50 billion as per knowledge sourcing intelligence. The serviceable available market right now, we are seeing ourselves in the North American, Indian, and MEA space is 1 billion, and obtainable market, just some part of it, at 250 million for ourselves. So this is the core team, as I said, and these are a couple of accolades that we have won over a period of time. Pretty recently, in last 6 months, I would say. So we are part of NASSCOM 10,000 startups, NASSCOM Tech.V program, Startup India certified, T-Hub incubated, Lab 32 program. We recently onboarded into the Lab 32 program. We are Udyam registration, MSME registered company. And we are also recently signed up as IBM Partner Plus and Microsoft Partner. Just to showcase that we are a trustable entity and you can do business with us, even though we are a small startup. And this is what we want to, these are coordinates. Any questions I can take?
What's your monetization now?
So the monetization, because we are talking about on-prem deployments, so it is typically license fee plus. So the revenue model is a combination of software license fee plus implementation or professional services plus the maintenance and support. I would say we are going back 20 years in terms of revenue model, leaving out the SaaS way of doing things.
And what's your thought process behind that? Do you have any active customers right now? You're in this development of the product phase. Where are you?
We are in the development of product phase. The product is being built along with the pilot customers. So we have signed up a couple of pilot customers, the product in the development stage, but tested along with them, being built along with them.
What level of development is the product?
Where are you in your development cycle?
I would say 20% on the this thing.
Okay.
But the customer has signed up and we are building along with them.
And how are you funded right now?
We are right now bootstrapped.
Bootstrap.
Sorry, in between you mentioned about so much of data, knowledge search you will be doing and all those things. In ServiceNow, we have something called as CMDB, Configuration Management Database, I think, if I remember the name, full form correctly. In that, it gives a specific ID. With that ID, CI tag is what they refer it as. And it provides the complete, past 20 or 30 years of information completely. I just want to understand how it is different from your idea versus ServiceNow, which is already there. I know you might be mentioning about LLM, but I think in the previous session, they already mentioned that they are already using that LLM as things. ServiceNow being a big company versus Gen Z just starting up. I just want to understand the product much more details.
Sure.
Thank you.
So when you talk about ServiceNow as an application, whatever knowledge or information that you are getting from a specific ticket, it is just limited to the information ServiceNow has. But what we are talking about is multiple information sources you have as teams. You will have working with multiple tools like Jira, Confluence, SharePoint, your documents, your mails. How do you, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll just follow up with that. ServiceNow can be integrated with all those things what you do, because I did that in my previous organization.
We'll have to take it offline. We are running out of time. Questions from the jury, please. I am told, I'm just following rules. No questions from the audience, only from the jury, please. I'm sorry.
So, you're basing your solution on LLMs, and you're probably some algorithm you're using at the back end, OpenAI, or I don't know what you're using.
It's private LLMs pre-trained just on the private data. So
Okay.
we are not using OpenAI,
OpenAI.
Azure, or any of the readily available of.
All right. So how do you see yourself different from somebody else who's building the similar solution, a similar Gen AI-based solution?
Sure. So right now, if you look at the market, right from Google, Microsoft, to a startup like me, everyone is trying to solve the same problem across the market. But what I believe is the enterprise expertise that we bring in, being part of the enterprise ecosystem, product development ecosystem, and also the execution speed that a startup has versus a bigger enterprise has, is definitely going to be an advantage for us. Understanding of the problem is definitely, being part of those teams is better with us. So these are the two things that I would see as a differentiator for my company. Otherwise, technology-wise and probably the content-wise, AI or Gen LLM is all democratized. Everyone has the same information. I don't have any further extra information in that per se. But the execution speed and the understanding of the problem is where we differentiate.
So can you talk a little bit about your vision? Where do you want to take your company to in future once you have developed this product?
See, this is just one use case that I'm talking about within the product landscape, the product value chain that I'm talking about. But if you take an enterprise, right, there are multiple departments which have similar problems. It could be HR department, again, as the ServiceNow demo you have seen, right? So it is catering to multiple things. It could be HR, it could be customer support, it could be finance domain, the corporate legal contracts. How do you manage those contracts?
Sure. My question is, what is your vision? What are you looking at?
For me, I want to be there in every place of an enterprise, every department of an enterprise.
Okay.
My solution has to be there. So it could be, right now it is just for the product teams, but eventually I'll have to be an enterprise LLM software.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
So basically this is Rishikesh from Pushpa.ai, and we are presenting one of our product that is Vision over here. So if we talk about the Vision, that is almost we are targeting toward to automate the e-commerce workflow. If I talk about the e-commerce workflow, that is, So the pain point that we are trying to cover it over here, that is almost if a person has. Sure. Now it not audible? Sure. If I talk about the pain points that we are trying out to cover, so if a person have to upload their product on the e-commerce website, they have to have a knowledge of SEO. They have to have a separate background to be removed, as well as they have to do multiple almost have a content writer for the content description and all. So it took a very long period of time, sometimes 7 to 8 days to complete a total catalog to upload on a website, and each have their own standard. Amazon have their own standard, Myntra have their own. So based on that, it took a long time to upload and to the product over there. So we talk about the solution that is integrated with a single platform, that is a background remover, that is a smart tagging, visual search, and a smart recommendation. If I talk one by one through it, so image background remover, here almost you can remove the background and you can apply the background of your choice. As well as if I talk about the smart tagging, that is the thing where we are almost using the computer vision, we are analyzing the product, and based on that product, we are generating the tags. And from tags, we are generating using the Gen AI, we are creating the meta title as well as the description, as well as the alt image text, and almost suggesting the similar product, that is a visual search, and what are the associate products related to that product that can be shown on the product side. If I talk about this is a visual search and smart recommendations. And almost here you can apply the filter of having a similar look, having what are the associated products that you can show with this, and you can complete the look. And if I talk about the thing, why vision to be taken care of, so that is the thing, we are precise and powerful, and easy, and it can be easily integrated with multiple platforms, as well as you can export the file into the JSON format as well as the CSV format that can be easily be uploaded on the several platforms, as well as the time to market, that's a 7 to 8 days. Here you can able to do in a single click, that is almost 10 to 30 seconds of the timeline, and it is cost effective. If I show you one of the working demo. So here almost the image that I have uploaded over here. So I am taking a non-reviewed image. So here the AI have already identified the gender. Type is lehenga. The color. If you want the color is wrong, you can select the color also. It is selected. You can select the style. It is elegant. You can select the fabric. And you can click on save and generate. So if you will see that the SEO tags has been generated, rosy brown lehenga, pink lehenga, what are the tags that is being used for the Google search. If you take the title and H1 tag, that is rosy brown lehenga for a woman or a girl. So it, and as well as if you see the description is already automatically over here. The rosy brown lehenga is perfect for a traditional occasion, a beautiful description, as well as the alt image tags. That's true. Just wrapping it up. Then there is similar products, and you can add the associated product, and it all you can save and you can export into the format you want, like a JSON or a CSV format. This is the entire product, and this you can change the background of this image also using this tool. And if I talk about the structure, that how we are going to monetize it, the pricing structure. So basically, we are trying to almost providing on the credit basis. So first, we are going to give it a free trial for 14 days, where user can see all the options and almost try all the activity that we all have over there. And if I talk about the professional, they are almost the pricing will be depending on the number of credits that they want. If the number of services credits they want are higher, the price is going to be decreased. Basically, the API-based calls, and the credits will be deducted based on the amount that they use. If they are generating it again and again, the credits rating will be the users will be higher. And if I talk about the business model that we are trying to get it into, so this is an AI model that is trained on right now on the Indian data set. If you want to do it for a shoe, if you want to do it for a necklace, if you're going to do it for several other sectors like fashion accessories and all, so that custom model can also be trained, and based on that there will be a setup cost, and we can proceed on it. So thank you.
What's your go-to-market plan?
So the go-to-market plan is almost right now. Almost we have launched this product, and we are almost working with some of the small scale who uses to upload their products on Myntra and all. So if I talk about them, so we are still trying to understand what are their problem pain points, and we have asked them to use our product and send their feedback to us.
How are you reaching them? How are you reaching those people?
We are reaching through Instagrams and Facebook, because they have their own Facebook page also and the Instagram page also. We are reaching out to them and we are asking that what are their pain points which can be covered, and asking them the recommendation, what are the things that they want to improve in this product, the entire workflow.
So what's your TAM?
So basically, if you will see the CAGR growth rate is of 10.6% of automatic cataloging, and almost the growth rate is almost for 2026 is almost $1.9 million in the market. So automatic cataloging. It is overall market. So basically, if I saw one more thing, that is almost, if I try to cover it over, e-commerce is a space where almost we are selling each and everything. And it is an AI-based model. It can be trained on each and every type of product. So if you can say right now we are doing for a fashion only for the dresses. It can be scalable to the multiple category, like almost even if you want to tag you can say food grains also, that can be also done.
Just in the interest of time, sorry. So who are your target e-com platforms? Amazon, Flipkart, who are these?
So the target, they are not our, we are not targeting the platforms. We are targeting the sellers who are uploading their product on this platform.
Which platforms?
Myntra, Amazon, and as well as you can say Myntra, Amazon, and Meesho.
Okay.
And so it is not only for a single platform. The CSV format and the JSON, that can be also used to upload on your own website that you are hosting on different like Wix and Shopify. So entire catalog can be uploaded with.
Do you have any customers, paying customers, right?
So not exactly the paying customer. That almost we are doing this small contribution with the small sellers and all who are uploading their products using this platform.
So they are using it
Yeah.
today. What's the feedback?
So feedback almost based on that, almost they are getting almost 80% accuracy in the Indian dresses, and in the Western dresses they are getting almost 75% accuracy.
Then why are they not paying you?
Hmm?
Why are they not paying
Sir,
you?
we have just started. So we have just launched this product, not the thing. We have just started this product.
Okay.
Can you run us through the competitive landscape?
No, we have not presented over here. If you are talking about the competitive landscape, so Streamard is our competitor in India, if you are talking about. But the thing is that they only provide the tags.
Okay.
But if they here almost not we are providing the tags, we are almost having a Gen AI which is providing the entire solution, the recommended product as well as the associated product, and as well as you can say the main thing that is most of them have faced while we are doing the primary research over there. That is almost they don't know how to write a SEO friendly content.
Okay.
And a beautiful description.
When you say you just launched, how long have you been in the market?
So for this product, almost it has been 2 months of time.
Okay. And how many customers are using it?
Right now, 10 of them are using it.
Team?
Team is of 13, 1-3.
Okay. You have a background, team background?
No. Rohit Jain, Anurag Kushwaha. So if I talk about Rohit Jain, he is almost having 20 years of experience in marketing and operations. If I talk about Anurag, almost he is almost having a building a scalable solution with the meaty and all, and he in the IT Guwahati.
Okay. And right now this is bootstrap time. You
Yeah,
have
it
got
is
any
bootstrap.
grants or
Basically,
anything?
this is we are pushback.ai. Almost we have a running revenue stream from Pushback where we are providing the security and surveillance solutions, and this is the product that we have come up with almost using the same technology for the e-commerce market.
Okay, so there's a parent company.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The co-founder and CEO of the organization. I'm from Adam State Technologies, a deep tech startup. a deep tech startup focusing on providing solutions. Focusing on providing solutions based on use cases and problem statements. That's our USP, because we want to be in enterprise space. So we have very strong background. Maybe first you can run the video. Yeah, I will. Okay. Once I finish, I will. Yeah. So as I have already told you, we are AI, ML based solutions we are providing to the customers. And we have a strong team of about 46 based out of Hyderabad. We are incubated at T-Hub. And also having our on-site bench in Mumbai. We have strong partnerships with CIA, Center of Excellence, NASCOM, TAIM, and of course T-Hub is our, I can say, pillar of strength, because that is where we have got the recognition. Why I'm starting with recognitions? Because I believe in stitching the alliances and relationships before really getting into deep-rooted presentation. Here I'm not doing any presentation, but I'm just playing a small video clip. What exactly we do? One sec. Where is it? Yeah, got it. So these are all the modules which we are focusing on. And these are the use cases. And this we have done a live pilot for ICICI Bank. They're aligning with us as their marketing and branding partner. And these are all the real-time minutes of the meeting, which we have tested with live customers, live meetings. One particular meeting is almost attended by 600 people from different parts of the country. And these are all the generated generative AI images which we have created using our own modules. And we are quite strong in LLM building. We do the pre-training and train based on the use case and integrate without touching the data through APIs. And we are quite strong in data platform, data engineering. But this is where our main customers like Skoda, in fact, Skoda is white labeling our product to monetize across the globe to their other organizations like Audi, Porsche, and all those people. Then another customer recently we have acquired is Honeywell. For the first time in the world, we will be providing them the cockpit management real time. So that even before black box provides you information, our model will provide the first-hand information. Oh. As I have already told you, we are completely based, we provide solutions completely based on use cases and problem statements. And we don't want to confine with one particular domain or one particular industry. So we are working with multiple diversified industries like automobiles in the form of Skoda, aviation, Honeywell, retail, and FMGC basically with Kevin Care. In fact, only yesterday we have signed the first contract. Our model is very simple business model. First, we do the pilot in the form of POC. That's a free, just to gain the acceptance. During this particular phase, we do the discovery phase and understand and assess the gaps which they are having or the pain points which they have. Then we do the pilot. Once the pilot is successful, then the paid pilot, and after that, across organization implementation. This is the model which really works for every large enterprise organizations. So this is what we are.
How many customers do you have right now?
Yeah, we have 6 paid customers.
6 paid customers. And any competition that you have in this particular space?
These days, everyone talks about they are AI-based, Gen AI-based. So without getting into those competitions, we just want to create our own space. That's the best.
And how do you plan to go about doing that?
See, I come from 35 years of sales, marketing, global business development background. So I know the value of partnerships. I align partnerships, permanent marriages. So that is what exactly happened with first it started with T-Hub, then CIA Center of Excellence, because they receive a lot of problem statements from their members, and we are also a member, and we are their most recognized deep tech partner. So that is how we get a lot of inquiries, opportunities, pitching opportunities, and we compete with lots of other competitors, and we won the contracts.
Yeah, so what's the plan? Where do you want to take it with this approach?
Yeah, this approach is already taking us. We are entering global market also now. Our first customer, we have already signed the MSA. Still, we have to receive the contract. That is Health Ministry, UAE. So there we have done, in fact, we have addressed their last 2 years problem. That is conversation between Arabic doctor and patients from multi-Asian countries. So we have done the live speech-to-speech recognition, then translate into multiple languages. And it's auto. The moment I talk in Telugu, it detects in Telugu, and if the other person is Arabic, it translates into Arabic.
How big is your team?
46 we are at this point of time.
And founding team?
Founding team 3.
3.
I am the one. I have retired actually, but my son pulled me here. So he's the co-founder, he's the CTO. So he's specialist in providing, in creating solutions. So he's a big solution architect. Earlier he worked with ICICI Bank as a consultant. And of course for Genpact, he's a strong DevOps guy. So that is where the patience comes. That is where the assessment model comes. I myself got white labeled by McKinsey.
Yeah, you have no signs of being retired, by the way.
As an entrepreneur, I can't retire now. See, you asked your question. We are already started investing in, participating in events like GTEx Dubai, because that is the place where we need to really showcase. And next is US FinTech. There we will be launching our AI-enabled secure computing.
So only one question I had. What would you say is your core IP, if I have to say, in this organization that you have built over the past, how many years you have this company in?
Core IP?
IP, yeah.
Yeah. Atomax, that's our core IP.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone says, yes, they have developed AI platform, but we have different. Like me, I'm a mad guy. So I want my team also to be mad. We believe in chaos engineering. So the core IP is Atomax, that's AI NLU engine. That's our core IP. And the certification process is on. And we are getting almost HIPAA and all those compliances also we have been working. So a lot of investment has gone in. We are 100% bootstrapped till now. Thanks to our paid customers, L&T Finance, Tata Insurance. Now recently we have signed with Honeywell, then Skoda, that will be huge. And the next will be Vedanta for mining. So we come out with the different solutions. The basic model for us is, thanks to our experience and a lot of research, we have identified about 172 use cases across the industry, which is meant largely for the large organizations. So it has given us an idea, the sort of demand which need to be created from the market. So that has made our life very easy now. So pre-trained models are ready. That itself, it comes with 60% of the solution. The remaining 40% during the training, while doing the model training. So we complete each and every implementation in maximum 3 months.
Very good evening, everyone. Thank you, Pilaf, for the opportunity. I'm Swaminathan. I'm the co-founder and CEO of SmartTail. What we kind of do, we're a deep tech organization again, and what we kind of do is we deliver decision science very specifically to educators. Couple of accolades. We were awarded by NASSCOM's AI Game Changers in the category for education last year, 2022, and then also part of TAM, T-Hub, Karnataka's tech ecosystem, Startup TN, so on and so forth. So the beauty was, we are incorporated in Bangalore. We have the corporate office in Chennai, and though we were picked up by TAM in their second cohort, and then we are here. So a little bit of background about the founders. So I'm Swami. I'm engineer again. Did my master's in bits. Worked with Wipro for about 11 years, of which spent about 8 years in Japan. Mainly enterprise solution architect. That was my predominant role. And building solutions, that was the thing that I was actually doing for quite some time. The other co-founder is Mr. Aslam. So he was again part of HCL and then on to US and then again handling big engineering teams. So in the interest of time, I'll jump right in. In what we do, in very simple terms, we mainly work with schools, K-12 to start with. Right now we've started working with higher ed as well. In a single line, we grade the handwritten answer papers of students using artificial intelligence. So if you have a paper, if you have the test paper that is actually written in the class, say unit test, term test, all of the tests that, so I mean, at least the first few rows you will have kids for sure. The last few rows, I don't know. So all those exam papers of what your children are actually writing, that is actually now graded using AI. That's the solution that we have actually developed. So we have our own proprietary model for the handwriting recognition and as well as for the grading engine as well. So this is what we have actually developed. Right now, we are in about 78 schools, 78 paying customers, including DPS Hyderabad, in Hyderabad, DAV Chennai, Doon Public School in Delhi, and so on and so forth. So we expanded all across India, right now venturing into markets like Singapore and as well as the Middle East too. So that's the solution. The core engine or the core entity of the solution is that when you give a simple sentence to a kid and then say, okay, write in your own words ABC, then he's going to use his own words and then write the same sentence. Now, how are you going to gauge, like, okay, this is what I'm expecting and this is for which I have to give a mark or a grade. Now, how greatly can you actually give it? So that's the solution. And school is one of the most challenging sector. Very simple. If you do a mistake, the parent will come with the paper and ask for half mark more for their kid. So which means if schools are paying us, which means we are already accurate. As simple as that. And we are scaling pretty well. Recently, we opened a 30-seater office in Siddipet, the Siddipet IT Tower. We didn't come to T-Hub. Siddipet was a little cheaper. So we went there. And yeah, note to T-Hub team to make it a little cheaper for us. and that's whom we are. And I'll stop now. The business model as such, we charge the school directly. It's more on per student per year pricing. The pricing will vary depending on the number of tests. There are different models. One is for all the exams, another is for only chapter-wise tests and so on and so forth. This will all vary depending on what they actually taken. It's more of quantity driven. And then we charge them. Anywhere ranging from 800 rupees per student per year to about 1,600 rupees per student per year. That's the pricing model. We crossed about 1.25 crores of revenue from the time the product has been in the market. That's exactly around 16 to 18 months right now. And then looking at very positive growth and scale. So I'll stop right now. Any questions? Happy to answer.
So I guess right now this is only English, right? Or other languages also?
Okay, so yes, it's only for English-based subjects and for mathematics. So all the subjects, like you take your physics, chemistry, mathematics, all of that. We don't do Hindi or Tamil or any of that. That's where, I mean, I was very interested when he was talking, and then we want to have a word with him. If we can grab his, the NLP layer and start grading. I just have to find if there is anybody else who can help with Hindi extraction. So, but we are more interested as a market, it's still small. So we're more interested in probably Spanish and Arabic, because that's a more lucrative market in terms of the size itself than Hindi. Yeah.
And what is the accuracy that you get with
So
engine?
from the handwriting standpoint, we're about 98% and growing strong. From the grading itself, we're about 95% and moving on. So I think only with time it's going to improve. The good part is nobody has the data that we actually have. So we have a few million answer papers of students from different schools. So we exactly know what they've actually written, and that's my data mine. So even if somebody wants to build, they have to still go and collect all the answer papers and then start understanding how children even write. So a simple example I'll tell you, which war happened between 1924 and 1930? Any guesses? Something like that? World War I? Yeah, great. So if you ask the children to write, this is the answer. One guy will write FIRST World War. Another guy will write 1ST World War. Another guy will write WW1. Another guy will write 1-WW1. Right? So I'm saying just with one single phrase, they will kill you. So I jokingly say this to all the teachers when I address them. In very simple terms, when we started working on this, we thought this is like an apple. What can children write? This is not a big deal. And we will just cut it open and eat it. And we will all be millionaires in the second year. Then is what we actually realized, that we were actually peeling onions. And literally it makes us cry every single day.
Yeah, so nicely put there. But where do you see yourself going with this?
So very simple. We are looking at ontology-specific training models as well. In the sense, today why did we actually enter into the school segment? Is because the ontology is already pretty small. The context is pretty small. So now we are also working with grading the MBBS answer papers. That's a pilot that's actually going on. So, and where this is a new ontology altogether. The normal ontology that you actually have trained will not work for this. So that is a special training that we have to do. We can get into law, we can get into all of these places. So one is the grading engine itself. The other is how can we get into any sort of assessment.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just in the interest of time, can you also talk about the revenue projections? When you say where are you going with that, what do you see, how you see yourself scaling up?
I think we should be able to do about $4 million in the next 2.5 years' time.
$4 million.
Yeah.
Okay. And so who all are the founders?
So Aslam and then Kannan. So Aslam's background is as I was mentioning earlier. So he was from HCL. We both worked together in our previous organization for about 8 years together. So we were colleagues then friends. Then we started this together. Then Kannan is another co-founder. So he's from JP Morgan. So he was a senior VP at JP Morgan. So he takes care of the technology. I take care of the product. Aslam takes care of strategy and stuff.
So apart from the availability of the answer papers with you, what else is your differentiation?
So I'm sorry, I didn't get this.
So apart from that, what's your USP apart from that differentiates you from anybody who decides to build this solution?
So today I am looking at the answer papers because that's the input mechanism that is actually there. Tomorrow it could be video, tomorrow it could be audio, tomorrow the input mechanism can still change. So the USP is the grading engine itself. So that's where we have filed for a patent as well. Just waiting for it.
So I will also make a pitch before, so to reply to your comment that you made, okay? First of all, there's a lot of difference between Siddipet and Knowledge City, considering the area. And T-Hub is not a co-working space, it is an ecosystem. There's a lot more that we bring to the table, just than offering space.
That was a joke.
No, but
I'm
a representative of T-Hub and I need to make sure in the benefit of the audience. So,
you get amazing mentors in T-Hub.
yes, 2 of them are sitting right here. So, okay. Just to make the mood light.
Just to make it very clear,
No.
nothing against T-Hub. I love T-Hub.
Thank you.
All go for T-Hub, please.
It will not affect the rating for sure, but it was important for me to respond. Couple of questions. You mentioned about the handwriting. You have 1 million papers. So to do that, how many pilots did you have to?
140 pilots.
So since
we started in 2019 November, just before COVID. So the first couple of years, we were just collecting papers.
Got it.
So if we all remember, so 2020 Feb was when we all went into lockdown. So this was just before lockdown. We were 4 months early to lockdown, and I think by then we had collected about 50,000 papers, 50,000, about 10 MOUs that were signed, and we just had a presentation. We went to the schools and said, hey, we will do this, but we want all your papers and so on and so forth. So after the schools opened up, once the curbs were all out, we went and collected all the previous year's answer papers. So now, then we started understanding how children write, what's the sequence and so on and so forth, what's the different ink patterns that they use, paper quality, which GSM. So there's a lot of analysis that was actually done based on these papers.
Got it.
And then right now where we stand is that, I mean, on an average, last month, we graded over 1 million answers, individual answers. So about 40,000 different answer papers, so in simple terms.
Okay. A very fundamental one, a basic question. So how does the process of a school putting up on your platform, like how does it work and how simple is it?
So in terms of the sales cycle or in terms
in
of
terms
the
of not
implementation cycle?
the implementation. So the exam is conducted right now.
So yeah,
and
so,
then
so
how
very
do
simple. First is the question paper itself, the questions. And then if we are giving the questions, then we also give the answers, saying this is the answers that we are expecting. The school says, they will say, okay, this is the questions and this is the answers that I'm expecting from the kids. There will be some plus or minus modifications that will happen. That will be keyed into the system first. That's a pre-prep model. Then the exam happens. There are a few many instructions that we give to the kids saying, please write the questions on the left-hand side, write the roll number on the top, so on and so forth. Once the test is done, we have a multi-page scanner which can scan up to 60 pages in a minute. So you put the whole bulk of 60 pages in a particular scanner. So in 2 minutes for the whole class, the scanning is done. That one single PDF comes to us. We then identify this answer papers belong to student A, student B, student C, so on and so forth. Then we go inside and then dissect each and every answer out of the answer paper. Then we grade it against it. Then for the student, it's his paper. Again, what's the points that he has actually missed and what's the mark that he has actually got. For the teacher, it's more detailed. It's more detailed in terms of saying, okay, against the whole class, say for this question, these points were answered really well by all the students.
So how much time it takes from the day of your
So from the time we get the answer paper to get back at the school, it's between 24 to 48 hours. Because sometimes the scanning is not proper. Sometimes the roll number is not written. Sometimes we also do a pre-check, a post-check on how the AS.
Have you raised any funds?
Yeah, we have raised about $1 million, and we're looking to raise about another $500,000 right now.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Next is Teja Kancharla from Upsquad.
I'm the Chief Product Officer at Upsquad. At Upsquad, we have created a dynamic digital ecosystem for the organizations who are into the workforce development in the United States. They basically tries to enhance the lives by using a workforce development, by upskilling, mentoring, and reskilling, so that they provide an opportunities. One of the key challenges that we are actually trying to address, we are addressing is they lack a lot of lack of engagement because they don't have a digital ecosystem in place. That's where we came into picture. We created a digital ecosystem for them, usually for the organizations who are into mentoring, upskilling, and reskilling in the United States. So why exactly we are doing it is because currently the US job market is undergoing a profound transformation, and this transformation is actually creating an issue of skill gap. And there are a lot of people alone in the United States. We are expecting around 12 million people are going to have a switch their career or a job. And during this, the key challenge is for these organizations, they are not able to bring people together, engage them well, and train them and upskill them because they lack of, they don't have an unified solution in place. And so that's where we created an unified platform for them, and they are trying to use it. So currently we are addressing the US market because there is a vast opportunity, and they are providing with the target market like around $4 to $8 billion. And currently our strategic aim is to address the needs of nonprofits, schools and universities, and economic development corporations in the United States, because they are the ones who are playing a major role in the workforce development. And thing is this opportunity also well aligned because of the latest legislative developments that was happened, like American Rescue Plan Act, Department of Labor and Training and Employment departments alone funding $2 trillion for the workforce development in the United States. And this further emphasizes the crucial role that as an up squad we can play in facilitating an effective workforce development. So what we did, we built our unique web platform in 2019 and we have launched it. And we have recently, like in the first quarter of 2023, we have launched our mobile app as well. And we have seen the results that the engagement for these organizations has been almost increased by 50 to 60%. And they are seeing the results with respect to how many people are actually benefiting out from the platform. Earlier, they have a challenge of finding out whether whether their initiative has really been successful or not. And at the same time, whether how much successful they are not able to quantify it, but because of a unified platform, now they have all the metrics in all the data in place, where they will be able to see like how many people are actually gaining benefit out of this platform, as well as they are able to measure the success of the initiatives that they have taken. And coming into deep diving into a solution, as I said, like we have a comprehensive custom branded digital ecosystem where we have all the integrations with respect to all the video platforms like Zoom, Teams and things. And our customers need not to pay even a single rupee for any of the Zoom licenses. They can simply get it with our subscription. At the same time, we have our own personalized video platform where the organizations can actually share the success stories as well as the trainings and other aspects one-on-one. And we have our custom groups and messaging and personalized communication, social forum, events, as well as the job board. Earlier, each organization used to use Eventbrite for events and Indeed for jobs, as well as like Zoom for video platform or Google Meet for video platform. Now that everything is together, then they are easily able to use our platform and get benefit out of it. With respect to competitor landscape, UpSquad standouts, and it comes into the community management and workforce development. There are other solutions also in the market, like Mighty Networks, Highbright, or with respect to job placement like LinkedIn, Foundit, and Indeed. But they are more focused in the general careers or community management. But now we are more focused in the community management with a featured, with the features that are much aligned for the workforce development organizations. Currently, we have around 20 customers, 20 paying customers, and with an annual recurring revenue of 220K. And we can see that our customers are currently, we have covered all the personas of our current target market that we have. Like we have universities, we have economic development corporations, we have colleges, we have non-profits as well. Yeah, it's just 2 slides. And our revenue model is quite simple. It's a SaaS-based revenue model. Depending upon the size of an organization, we are going to charge them an annual fee. And we also provide a custom code for the organizations with more than 1,000 plus users. We have a free trial for the organizations to try out. And to startup journey, the key milestones is we have raised $1 million angel investment in 2020. And around, like as I mentioned, like we have around 220K annual recurring revenue. And our current task is we are trying to raise a fund of around $2 million where we want to allocate these funds into both sales and marketing as well as the product development. Those are the key things. And we are targeting around 400K annual recurring revenue by end of this year. We have few deals already in the pipeline, bigger deals like which pays like around 75K to 100K per year. So which we are expecting it to go around 400K. And by December 2024, we are expecting to gain around like 80 customers with annual recurring revenue of $1 million. And the key product enhancement that we are already making, which is in progress, is open API integrations, which actually streamline the onboarding experience of our organizations. They can easily integrate with their existing systems that they are using. And also payments integration, which will give us an additional revenue stream. Because now the organization can make their community paid communities as well as paid events where we can take a cut out of it and that gives us an additional revenue stream. I'm done. Currently, we are a team of 7, 3 founders in US and 1 I am here. I'm taking care of product design and engineering from India. So we are building the product from India to US. And we are also part of the T-Hub. Next slide. Yeah. So this is our team. We have the people from product background as well as data and analytics, finance, as well as engineering and sales. That's all.
Yeah, I got stuck on 60% of your ask on sales and marketing. Why is that?
Why? Because as we said, like our focus is into non-profits, universities, and where they are mostly dependent upon the funding from the uh, government organizations as well as others. Usually, currently now our closing cycle is like around 30 to 45 days, and also going into a lead and finding out the right contacts and the needs is actually taking time. So with respect to the sales people as well as with respect to finding out the leads and time, it takes time. And also we have our product was almost well matured. So now we see with respect to the current needs of our customers, we see very less, but acquiring the customers is now key focus for us to raise additional funding and grow.
So I'm a bit confused. Are you looking for working capital, or are you looking to spend that money on sales and marketing?
So yeah, sales and marketing only, because current, as I mentioned, like we need more and more people to go because our closing cycle is more. And with respect to product, we are taking less.
Okay. So what's your core USP? Your product does a lot of things. So what's the core?
So the core, what I say is like, first of all, it's a unified platform. So it meets the immediate needs of all our like the organizations who want to onboard, and they were not able to take multiple solutions or systems in place because that. Our core thing is, because everything is together, now we have the clear data, and these insights will actually help these organizations to measure their programs, improve it. At the same time, we have the our organizations can also communicate with the similar organization. For example, non-profits, a specific non-profit can communicate with the other non-profits in our platform. So which is like, we are creating a network of network, and we already saw that our non-profits has already benefited out of it, because onboarding the mentors is one of the key challenge for these non-profits. Now that they are connected in a network of network, they were able to find the relevant mentors, and they were able to get benefit out of it.
So what was the reason of picking up that market segment?
So actually, when we initially started as a B2C. It's like a mentoring platform. But when we are actually pivoting, we have not seen that a good traction with respect to, because there are many other platforms in the place. Then we have actually pivoted. Then see, the core vision that we started is, we want to make sure, we want to provide a platform where people can uplift themselves. Then we actually seen like, who else can do? When we are not able to do as a B2C, who else can do? Then we found that these are the organizations who are actually doing a lot of work with respect to uplifting the people. That's when then we pivoted into schools, non-profits. And when we are actually doing, we have one of our customer who is like Arkansas Economic Development Corporation, and they actually, when they're actually one of our paying customer, and they have opened up our connects with similar economic development corporations, and there were around like 9,800 economic development corporations in US, and they are very big, and the amount that they are going to pay will also be high when we compare to a smaller non-profits where we were not able to get the much revenue.
So you showed your revenue projections. So how are you going to get that revenue? By selling into more of these people?
Correct.
Or?
So currently we have 20 customers, and we also have a pipeline. We are targeting to reach 30.
How's the pipeline looking like?
Currently we have 30 open leads who are almost like around 10 to 15 are in a phase of 25 to 30 days. As I said, our closing time is very high, like around like 45 to 60 days sometime, because of lot of red tape with respect to approval. So
yeah, selling into enterprise is like that.
It's very hard.
You said you raised two questions. One is, your company is registered in the US or India?
Yes, we have registered in US. We also have a subsidiary in India. Because we are taking care of product development and design, everything from India. So we registered in India as well, but our core company is in the United States.
Got it. And that 1 million that you raised was from whom?
Hillette Cruz, angel investor.
Okay, it's one person.
Correct. Okay. We also raised small amounts like 100K. Initially we got a seed funding of 100K. Recently we raised another 200K, but they are from HNIs, not from investors.
Okay, got it. And so those 20 customers all are in the US?
Yes. And currently we are focusing only in US because there we find a market there when compared to other geographies, and we also have a strong team over there who can take care of it. There itself we have a lot of opportunity to explore, actually to expand. Yeah.
Got it. And what has been your year-on-year growth? You said it's 220K right now.
220K.
What was it last year?
Like around 100.
K.
Yeah.
And you're expecting to reach?
400K by December, because we have a larger deals now. Now we are dealing with economic development corporations. They are going to pay more when compared to universities and non-profits. And our plan is to go to 1 million till by end of next year.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Srivas Boga, I'm C1 founder at FatCat. At FatCat, we're actually revolutionizing how campuses manage their multiple operations and how students and educators share knowledge, leveraging multiple technologies like AI, ML, and data. At FatCat, we completely believe that the data that the campuses have has huge amount of value. So the problems that we're solving is like 1 out of every 8 students are dropping out of higher educational institutions. So to tackle this problem, government has introduced a system called outcome-based education. So to implement this outcome-based education system, campuses are struggling currently using their Excel sheets. And the agenda behind introducing the outcome-based system has left behind the Excel sheets. And when it comes to corporates, we are also able to see difficulties in kind of finding the right skill set that they require in the tier 2 campuses. And the solutions that we are offering is like we are going to give multiple performance-based analytics to higher education institutions to make better decisions. And we are completely automating and helping campuses to enhance their outcome-based education system. And we're also providing a platform between corporates and higher education institutions to make skill-based hiring much easier. To talk about the product, our software collects the vital data from the existing ERPs and LMS of a campus, correlates and converts it into relevant information that gives multiple decision-making insights and analytics to campuses, which enables them to manage or enables them to act confidently on their decisions. Looking into the product, how does it work? It exactly automates the entire outcome-based education within few clicks, and not only automation, it gives multiple analytics to improve the outcome-based system inside the campuses. And within few clicks, campuses could also easily download the reports, which can be useful to submit to their accreditation bodies. And since we collect a numerous amount of data of the students, we provide multiple student-based performance analytics, faculty performance analytics, and course performance analytics. We also provide AI-based predictive analytics of students, which predicts the likely performance of a student much in advance before he or she going to takes or kind of attempts an examination. So we are going to shift the, so this is how we are shifting the campuses from traditional way of doing operational analysis, which has less value, and we are shifting it to automating the analysis part and coming up with great strategies which has higher value. So analytic driven education system will have a ultimately lead towards decrease in the dropout rates and decrease in the student failure rates and increase in the outcomes and admissions, high automation, less human accountability, and campuses could also get the accreditation much easier, and we have a superior experience. So why now? The accreditation and compliance bodies of educational institutions are actually enforcing campuses to follow digital strategies, and the competition and COVID factor also proves that campuses need to shift towards technology strategies if they want to be in competition. We are a SaaS revenue model where we charge higher education institutions annually, depending upon based upon the count or the size of the campus, and we also have other revenue models like Corporate Connect, where we connect, we make skill-based hiring easier in the campuses, connecting with corporates. And our go-to-market strategy includes like we are easily integratable software with all the ERPs and LMS of the campuses that are having, and we improve the internal quality system, which makes campuses to easily get accreditation. and we have some freemium features as well, and our software is, we are planning to make the software as affordable as possible. And India is the third largest higher education system in the world, with almost 55,000 higher education institutes and almost 3.85 crore enrolls every year, and it is estimated to be 10.4 billion edtech market by 2025. And we have built the product and currently pilot testing the product in 3 campuses. And since we are doing sales, we got kind of very good feedbacks or very good response from the campuses while we are doing the sales. And in next coming 2 months, we are expected to sell some good number. We are expected to close some good number of sales and generate revenue as well. And all the systems currently are of ERPs or LMS. They are a kind of extension to the ERPs and LMS, which gives analytics pulling out the data. And none of the softwares will actually provide outcome-based education automation and enhancing the OBE system. We are 3 co-founders. I am Srivasu. I have 5 years of experience in entrepreneurship and 5 years of experience in designing as well. And our co-founder Sri Harsha, he has 5 years of experience in entrepreneurship and is doing his MTech in what we call product design and management course at IIIT Hyderabad. I think he's a student of your student of the jury here. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
So you're still building the product.
Yeah, we have built the pilot and testing it in the campuses.
So you started off with the problem statement
Yep.
about the students dropping off. So
Yep.
how does your solution, your product, solve that problem?
So this outcome-based education, it has been implemented to enhance the performance of students. So since they are doing it in a wrong way, or since the campuses are doing it on Excel sheets to tackle this outcome-based education system, the performance of students is still there, and there has to be continuous enhancement in OBE, and also giving multiple performance analysis of each course, each faculty and student will ultimately lead to enhancing the system of education and decreasing the dropout rates.
Who are you going to sell to? Who are you going to sell to? The students or the institutes?
No, in the institutes. We sell to institutes, to the managements, where they would see what's going on, what's going wrong.
Have you
with the
decided your pricing model?
Yep. It depends. It majorly depends upon the size of the institution. It varies. If there is a 3,000 student institution, it varies between 50 to 75 per annum.
Have you
Per annum.
tested that with any of the institutes?
Yes. We are currently doing the pilot testing. It's running successfully, and we made some sales as well. In the next 2 months, we will for sure close some good deals and generate revenue. Yeah, because we got a good response while we are doing sales, and there is a need.
So who do you consider your competition?
Like ERPs and LMS.
But you said they are not your competition because they don't have what you have.
Yeah, they couldn't provide analytics.
So
that
who
we
is
can.
your competition then? Nobody?
So it's a tech, right? So they use tech. So the current tech system is of ERPs, and they need to go beyond that. So that's what FatCat is like.
Yeah. So you don't have a competition. That's what you're saying, right now?
Not in a direct way, but a kind of improving the software structure. Yeah.
Sure. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I think there are some players in the market, so maybe you want to, it's nice to have an understanding of who are you fighting against. Just a feedback, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Second thing is, will this be only accessible by the institute, or as a student, okay, will I also get some metrics saying that, because the drop-offs are happening from the students, right? So the only way to motivate them is, that's why you're doing outcome-based scoring, or right? That's what I understand. So do I get, as a student, a metric saying that this is where I need to improve, and maybe a one-on-one class? Is there a plan like that?
Yep, that's a great question actually.
Okay.
So student need to know what are his outcomes, how is he performing, but the current education system couldn't provide it. So that's the another problem that we are solving, but we are not introducing it in the pitch decks. But we would be transparent to student what are his outcomes and where he need to improve in his outcomes, and what skill set does he really have, and what industry requirement does the industry have the requirement, and what skills do you need to build to meet that industry requirement. So that analytics we will give to students, which will also
That is
help.
already built?
Yeah, no, it's in the it's
Pipeline. It's
built.
not there yet.
Yeah, it's not there. We are planning, like it's in the pipeline of the product development.
Okay.
Yeah. One final question. Yeah.
How are you different in the sense that, yeah, you talk about outcome-based education, right? What is the final outcome you're giving to a university or an educational institute?
See,
You're talking analytics, right? Everybody has analytics. Every ERP system would have its own set of analytics. So just talk a little bit, 2 minute, not even 2 minutes, 30 seconds on what is the differentiator and how are you creating the differentiation?
Yeah.
Is that based on assessments, student assessments that you're doing? Is that based on, I mean, just give me a feel of what that is.
So I've told you the OBE system, right? So the outcome-based system has to be enhanced year on year. So that's what accreditation bodies would look at. Okay. So the current system of outcome-based education couldn't let you enhance it year on year, right? But our system could greatly help campuses to enhance their outcome-based education year on year. So that's where
How?
with the analytics that we provide, like where does the course structure went wrong, or what's the skill set of the faculty.
And what's the input that you're taking? That's your student assessments? Is that
student
your
assessments? Yeah, of course, student assessments, and based on
and you're getting the student assessments from existing systems.
existing systems of ERPs. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Presentation for the day will be done by Sarath Chandra from Subtle.ai.
I am Sharath. I am one of the two founders at Subtle.ai. So at Subtle.ai, what we want to do is basically build or be a private Google for enterprises, specifically in banking and insurance sectors, where the application has to be very secure and has to work offline, which is what we've been able to do with State Bank of India, where State Bank of India is our first market success. So the problem that SBI had when they spoke about internally was, on an average, every year they waste about 32 lakh hours in finding information which is already there in the documents, or let's say in a video or websites. So, I mean, to explain more using an example, now let's take this case where Pooja is a branch officer and then a user says that, hey, I submitted a check, but I don't think so the transaction went through. Now, Pooja does know that, okay, there is something called shadow credit that she can use, but she isn't sure if it can be used for this particular user and for the amount of the check. So now Pooja has two ways to solve this. One, she has to ask a subject matter expert and be like, okay, what do I do in this situation? But the problem is the entire workforce of SBI is 250,000 and the number of subject matter experts are 350. So it'll at least take a week for, to have that fixed. The other solution is they have these manuals that she would then have to open, go page by page, and then basically retrieve the information from that, which is around 1,500 pages, which also takes time. So when SBI came to this institute with this statement, so institute told, okay, we have a startup that does this, and which is us basically. And so we said, okay, why don't we have an AI expert which can understand all the documents and then answer based on what the officer is looking for. So maybe I'll just show the product, if I may. I'll just show the product. Now, like the same example, right? Where, if, so she isn't sure if she can use shadow credit. Now, on our platform, on our platform, basically the branch officer has to log in, and she can just ask something like, can shadow credit be used for local checks? And then as soon as you hit the question, we get few answers within 0.6 seconds that basically went through all of your data. And then you see this button called summarize this. When you on-click that, we basically make a smart answer based on the retrieved results and not the data. So now this way, Pooja exactly has the information, okay, this is what I have to do in this case. So thereby solving the problem. Now, yeah, I mean, so this is the thing about the product. We can also take in video searches, like you can upload YouTube videos and make them searchable as well. Yeah, that's more about the product. Yeah, any questions?
So what's the reliability of this summarization?
So the lowest hallucination rates in the market, less than 1%, because we are yet to see a wrong answer. The reason why I say that is, we follow a principle called RAG. First, retrieve the documents or the sections in the document which are relevant, and then make an answer from these texts. So which means it is an extractive way of saying, okay, from your data, this is what I think it is. Whereas if you have a look at our people who are in the same space, their hallucination rates are around 6% to 8%. So.
Yeah, because you talked about banking and the financial industry.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's
And then one more thing is that what is what is so special about us is we are able to do on-premise deployments, wherein the application has to be secure and it is offline, no access to the internet. So we have been able to more like privatize these language models and large language models for specific use cases. One more USP is we don't need GPUs to run the product. We have been able to optimize the algorithm to work on CPUs.
So what would you say is your USP? What's your differentiator? Because I mean, search anybody can do. What differentiates you?
So at least with respect to State Bank of India, like we were not the only ones that they were looking for. There were around 150 other startups, but all of them said we need GPUs. All of them said we need access to the internet because that's how it will work. So, but then we have been able to solve it without the internet and just for CPUs.
So that's your USP?
Yeah.
That's what you
And the answers will be under a second. So those three things are probably what is special about us.
And I believe SBI is your paying customer?
Yes.
How many paying customers do you have?
Right now 4.
4. And what's the revenue projection? How do you plan to scale?
So we recently got an investment of 60 lakhs. And we would basically use it to increase the team because we have been running the startup for 3 years with a very lean team of 8 people. So we would really want to expand the team.
Yeah. What's the founding team?
So maybe I could show that, because I have an interesting person in the team. So Prof. Manish is a NLP researcher and a prof in this institute, whose research work of 15 years is what we have taken to build the product on top of. My other founder is Vishnu, who handles more of the sales and the business aspect of it. I deal mostly around the product. And Pranav, who started as an intern with us, now is a lead engineer and a very important part of the latest engine that we have built. And
what's your vision for the product? I know we are running out of time, so I'm just...
I mean, whenever any enterprise thinks of search, it should be us. Now, let's say as a person, if I want to search something, the first thing is Google. But for an enterprise, it should be us.
And how do you plan to reach there?
So right now, the plan is capture all the banking and all the banks in India because of SBI. So this is also something that we experience, that just because SBI is our customer, it doesn't mean other banks will follow suit because their problems were different. So that's something also, that's something we are taking into account and going aggressively on all the banks, and then later maybe towards the banks in US and other parts of the world.
Okay. Just one question. What's your licensing and pricing model?
So with banks, they usually like to do a implementation fee first and then annual recurring this thing. So that's the model with them, wherein they give a big amount, or not a big amount, like a 50% of the full contract as the implementation fee, and then the other goes by year on year for around 3 to 5 years.
Have you decided any model for yourself or not
So
yet?
since we want to go deep into banking, this is something we want to follow. But again, we have a SaaS platform that anyone can use. So there it would be based on the number of pages that you want to upload or number of documents, or and also to some extent on number of users.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I request the jury to come onto the dais. Mansi, Swami, and Avnish. The first winner is Atom State. A big round of applause. Sorry. The first place is, I'm sorry, Smart Tail. Okay, chill. The first prize goes to Swami and his team, Smart Tail. You can also hold it. The second prize goes to subtail.ai. Thank you. And the third prize, Atom State. I'm sorry for the faux pas. I request all the participants to come. Up squad to come onto the stage. I invite Fat Cat to come onto the dais, please. I invite Gen Z Technologies on the stage, please. And I invite Pushpak AI our last startup inventor. I request Abhilash and Raj, Abhilash and Sriram to honor the jury, please. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mansi, Avnish, and Swami.
You know, I mean, I really enjoyed listening to all the pitches out here, and it was very difficult to figure out who's number 1, 2, 3. I mean, actually, most of us have more than one tide at one place. So, but what I would like to say is this was amazing to hear such great pitches.
Thank you.